Hey guys, welcome back to another video at Jensen's Reptiles. Today we're going to be talking about modular LED lighting. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll probably see that in most of my enclosures, for the animals that don't require UVB, I use modular LED lights. So these are little strip lights that you can clip together, and they provide brilliant lighting throughout the enclosure. So here I'm showing a 4-foot enclosure for a royal python. So my python Haku lives in here, and the lights I use are the white python LED lights. You can get these in kits, or you can kind of put them together yourself depending on what you need. So I kind of buy the parts myself and put them together to create the light that I want. So I used to just use them at the back, and I'll show you in a minute in some of my smaller enclosures. The lights are just at the back. So here you can see 3 white LEDs. Behind that, the ones that are off, are the night lights, which I will show you a bit later on. And then at the front here, we have another 3 with a green one in the middle. So you can mix and match the lights in colour depending on kind of what vibe you want to give off, really. So I've seen some people use red ones to have a warmer glow. Some people just use all white. I like to throw in a green light. As you can see, it gives a bit of a jungle feel on the floor down here. It's definitely more effective in person. Adding 2 green lights will probably help a little bit more. I just use the one for now. It gives off the kind of light that I like to see. So, as I said, these lights come from White Python. They're currently only available in the UK, although I think they will look to expand in the future with any luck. These lights clip together. They come in 1-foot segments, so each of these pieces is 1 foot long. They clip together at these joins that you can see here and here, and you can clip together as many as you want as long as your power source can support it. So what I do is I clip them all together in here. They're connected to the ones at the front via this cable. So all of these lights are connected, and then I have an enclosure which is exactly the same in light setup to the left of this one, which is for Aki, which you can see over there. The lights in her enclosure are also linked to this one, so they just loop out of the back of here, which you can see over in that vent over there. You see the cable going out, and it loops into Aki's vent on the other side, and the light is mirrored. And then out on, I think it's in this one, the power cable goes out, and that's plugged into a 16-volt power source, which can handle 4 enclosures set up like this. Currently I have a light in my little corn snakes enclosure, which is just above here, which is also connected up. So these lights are all linked to one timer, will go on and off at exactly the same time. And this is Indy's enclosure, my little corn snake, who is currently hanging out in the greenery up here. So you can see there are 2 lights in here. The front one is the white light I was just talking about, which is also connected to Haku and Aki. These are connected via a 4-way splitter. So I used to have a white light in my leopard gecko enclosure, but that's been replaced with a UVB light some time ago. So I do have space on the splitter for 1 more. However, I don't need it at the moment. Behind that, again, is a night light, which is currently off. I will show you how I've set the night lights up this evening. So it'll just be towards the end of the video when I show how that all works. So this is one of my 3-foot enclosures. Sorry, just trying to turn my fan off. There we go. And in here I've got 2 feet of lighting, and the night lights behind. There's no lighting at the front currently because these are enclosures that are temporary. I will not be keeping my animals in here for the foreseeable future, so it's almost not worth buying the new lights just yet, because I intend to put new lighting in their upgraded enclosures at the end of this year. So one thing I wanted to show you, and I'll show you in a bit more detail in just a sec, is how these lights work on a dimmer. So White Python also make a dimmer switch. So I'm just going to try and hold my phone steady whilst I show you. at full brightness you can see the enclosure, and then we can dim it down, and actually with the dimmer you can also turn it off. So I like to keep mine in kind of a mid-range for lighting. A lot of the animals I have here are as nocturnal as they get, so having bright lights on during the day is it's almost unnecessary. I do like to have them on a day-night cycle, which I do, but having the lights at full brightness is quite frankly just a waste of energy. So I keep them at a mid-level. As you can see, it provides, you know, more than adequate lighting for the enclosure. Everything's nice and bright. The LEDs themselves are phenomenal quality, and yeah, so that's kind of how I have them set up. I'll show you a bit of the kit that you can get from White Python as well, and then we'll go on to night lights. So these are some spares that I have kicking around from White Python, and you can see that's what their logo looks like. That's the kind of packaging that they use currently. As I said, they're a small company here in the UK. The packaging is nothing overly fancy, but it does the job. So you can get all sorts of connecting cables for the lighting to extend where the lights reach to. So as you saw in the enclosures that I have connected, obviously I need the lights or the light cable to be able to loop out of the enclosure, round the back and into another enclosure in some cases, and in others they need to loop out of the enclosure and go up to a different enclosure. So my two over here, you can see those two are connected, so the lights actually need to go up out of one enclosure and into the other. So stuff like that is really handy. You can get extension cords for the lights themselves to reach the power packs. Some of my power sources are quite low down to the ground, and I have my enclosures quite high up, so having this to extend the power cable is brilliant. The White Python lights come with magnetic strips as standard. I found those not to work very well. Unfortunately, when the lights heat up, which they do, they don't get extraordinarily warm, they just get a bit warm, and the glue on the magnetic strips gets a bit tacky and the lights can fall down. The last thing I want in my enclosure is a light to have fallen down that's got anything sticky on it when I have a snake or a lizard in there. So I bought the clips from White Python, which you screw into the top of the enclosure, slide the light in, job done. You don't need to stress about the lights falling down or anything being wobbly up there. So in this box here I've just got a jumble of stuff really, so let me try to open that and make sure I can show you. So these are the dimmer switches. These are just power cables, so you plug those into an adapter and you can get the kind of adapter power that you want. Make sure it supports the amount of lighting that you're going to be using, and you're good to go. You just plug it straight in. So these are the dimmer switches. You connect your light directly into here, or even your splitter, and you can just spin the wheel, set it to what you want, or you can use it as a on-off switch if you don't like to use timers. I have all of my lights connected to timers just to make sure that they come on and off at the right time, and I'm never going to forget about it. So that's what I do anyway. I use the dimmers for setting the light, and I kind of just leave it from there. I don't really play with it all that much. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as kit from White Python goes. They do some other things. They have the splitters as well, which I use, but unfortunately they're all behind my enclosure, so I can't pull them out at the moment to show you. If you've got any questions about the lighting, feel free to ask me. I will include a link to White Python's website below, so you can go check them out. I get all of my LED lighting from them, with the exception of two enclosures that I just haven't been bothered to put the LED lights in yet, because I just had a roll of stick-on lighting, which is doing the job for the moment. In a moment I will show you the night lights and how I've set them up. I've done it slightly differently, and I've put a remote control sensor into those lights, and I can use now a remote to control the night lights, which is really handy, so I'll show you that now. So as you can see, lights are all off. The only light in here currently is the light in the room itself. So I can show you now the night lights that I have set up. This is the remote that I have everything set up to. This controls every single night light in the room. So if I just press on, you can see the red light comes on here, and Aki's out currently, so camera won't focus. There she is, down there somewhere. So on the remote you can see there's the option to increase the brightness, or again decrease it. We have the option to have the light at 100%, which you can see is really quite bright, 50%, which is still a bit brighter than I would like, and then 25%, which is perfect. You can see Aki's out in the evening time, every single evening without fail. This entire room comes to life. So I'll show you some of the other lights. I have red and blue, so those are the only ones I use for night time, and I use the white and the green during the day. So Luna also has a red night light. It really doesn't show up on camera the same as it does in person, but it's just a standard red light, and it gives a nice glow to the enclosure at night time without disrupting the animals too much. As you can see, Luna wants to come over and say hi. Hi, baby. She's probably wondering if I'm feeding her tonight, which I am not. Hi. And I'll show you the blue lights, and that'll be it. So you can see the blue lights I use as well, and little Mopani, who's over here, is hungry again. I don't know how. Always hungry. Hey Mop. But yeah, these are the blue lights I use as well. I prefer the blue lights personally. It gives more of a moonlight glow than the red lights. And Pixel here has the blue lights as well, so you can kind of see it gives a nice glow to the enclosure. The red ones, I don't know, it doesn't give that same nighttime feel. It's a lot more red, obviously. So anyway, those are the LED lights that I use. If you have any questions about anything that I've shown you, please just give me a shout in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you've got. So I will be uploading some more videos this weekend, so if you have any requests, let me know. I will try and get through as many as I can. So see you around, guys.